Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session. It's the last day of Bridging Academia to Aeco Industry Training for the first lot students. I'm Shilpa Roy, Business Development Executive at BIMLABS Engineering Services Private Limited. In yesterday's session, we discussed about BIM companies around the globe, leading BIM projects in the world, and BIM projects in India and in Kerala. And thank you for your valuable feedbacks. Like previous days, I will post the feedback form in the chat box. Kindly submit your attendance and feedback form without fail. In today's session, we will discuss about building a career with BIM, BIM designations and job roles, BIM education and areas to focus, also 7 steps to build a career in BIM. I think we will begin now. I would like to invite our mentor, Mr. Jobin Johnson, our BD executive, to lead the session. Jobin, please.
Thank you, Shilpa. So, am I audible?
Yes,
Hello.
Jobin. Yes, Jobin, you're audible.
Okay, yeah. And I hope my screen is visible too, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, good afternoon, everybody. And once again, welcome to the 5th and final day of the program, Bridging Academia to the Eco Industry, hosted by BIMLABS. I believe all of you had your lunch. Is it right? You had your lunch, right? Okay. And considering the time, most of you might be feeling sleepy. You know, actually bring back some memories of college, how I managed to sit through some classes at noon without sleeping. It's still a mystery, but that's a story for another day. So back to you guys. So despite all these difficulties, you guys managed to appear for this session without pain. We know that online sessions have some, what do I say, some undue advantages, but still you guys managed. Congrats. So let's see what we are having today. Today we will be discussing about BIM designation. That is different different job designations in BIM. Then about BIM education, and finally about building a career with BIM. At first, we will be looking into BIM designations. In every office or organization, there is a specific hierarchy. If it is police or army or any of those armed forces, it's called a chain of command. For example, in an office, there will be executives who in turn are guided by supervisors and managers who are again directed by directors or CEOs. Likewise, in the field of BIM, also there is a definite hierarchy. You will start as a BIM modeler, then you will be a compiler, then a BIM coordinator, and finally the buck stops at BIM Manager. Okay, so here you can see the BIM designation for different streams in engineering. For architecture, we have BIM modeler architecture, BIM detailer architecture, BIM coordinator architecture, and finally a BIM manager. Similarly, for structural, mechanical, and electrical, we have such designations. At the end, you can see an IT and computer science. And at least some of you might be wondering what these guys are doing here. Since we are living in a digital world where all the industries are going digital, there is no escape from IT and skills. You will have to bear with them. In the Aeco industry, these roles include visual programming of BIM models, IT administration of BIM projects, and managing BIM servers, that is BIM servers and data centers. Okay, now let's look into the responsibilities of each role. First, we look into the roles and responsibilities of a BIM modeler. As the name suggests, the first and most important task of a BIM modeler is to develop virtual BIM models for specific design disciplines. He or she ensures that the model aligns with standards and goals set in the BIM execution plan and BIM project workflow criteria. I hope you are aware of the concept of standards. In the building process, setting and adhering to standards is a very important process. Different countries follow different standards. In India, we follow Indian standards, while in some other countries, they follow their own standards. For example, in America, they follow American standard. In Europe, there is European standards. In Canada, there are Canadian standards, and in Australia, there are Australian standards. Likewise, different countries have different standards. In India, we follow Indian standards, and like I said, other countries follow their own standard, which will not be same as the Indian standards. Next, a BIM modeler collaborate and coordinate internally and externally with other disciplines, design changes and model changes. It means if you are a BIM modeler belonging to a particular stream, and if there is a design change in another stream, you should coordinate with them and make corresponding changes in your model. Coordination, that is the main advantage or the main benefit of BIM. It is the job of a BIM modeler to develop accurate construction drawings and extract data based on the discipline BIM platform. Finally, a BIM modeler coordinates design documentation with full utilization of BIM softwares and tools. And that's all about the BIM, the roles and responsibilities of a BIM modeler. Now we can look into the responsibilities of a BIM coordinator, and these as follows. A BIM coordinator prepares BIM execution plans and project-specific training documentations. A BIM coordinator should be proficient in BIM authoring tools to provide technical support for the team. He or she manages and maintains project budgets. If there is any change in standards or procedure, the BIM coordinator should effectively communicate with the team. And it is also the responsibility of the BIM coordinator to offer cross-team support. The BIM coordinator set up linked models and coordinate models across different disciplines. A BIM coordinator should understand and execute government standards by implemented during virtual design and construction phase. And finally, a BIM coordinator manage and coordinate sensitive and confidential information. As you might know, the details of most of the real projects are confidential and cannot be divulged to the public. It is the job of the BIM coordinator to maintain confidentiality or to keep the particulars of a project secret. Now, we can look at the responsibilities of the BIM manager. BIM manager is the topmost position in the BIM hierarchy. The responsibilities of the BIM manager include managing software licenses and overseeing the installation of new software versions. BIM manage the implementation of BIM supporting software. A BIM manager should research new BIM-related softwares available in the market. Every year, new softwares are being released in the market. A BIM manager should keep track of them. Okay, that is kind of the main role of a BIM manager. A BIM manager should keep his or her organization informed about the best practices in BIM and BIM software. BIM manager is also responsible for implementation and enforcement of organization-wide BIM standards. BIM manager should provide internal BIM training for the team and should attend conferences or seminars and workshops on behalf of the company with the view of transferring knowledges internally within the organization. That means if you are a BIM manager, you get to travel around and attend conferences and seminars and workshops on behalf of the company. Okay, and it is your job to transfer this knowledge you have acquired to your organization. And that's all about the roles and responsibilities of the BIM job roles. Now we'll look into the highlights of the BIM job profiles. The main highlights of a BIM job profile are advantages of a career in BIM. That's what we'll be looking into now. The job profiles are technology driven. That is, if you are not technically qualified, you can't get to that position. So, as we have seen, the profiles of a BIM job is technology driven. Since BIM is a relatively new technology, it is suitable for fresh engineers. Fresh in the sense, recently out of college. The pay scale or salary of a BIM professional is comparatively higher. And since the number of experienced BIM professionals are less, there are large openings and chance for promotion to higher profiles is very high. And these are the main highlights or advantages of a BIM job. Now, we will look into the knowledges, skills, and behaviors that an Aeco professional need to possess. So it is again divided into few parts. There are technical, BIM professional, Aeco professional should have technical knowledge, and technical knowledge include modeling, drafting, and model management. And he or she should have operational skill as well. It includes designing, simulating, and quantifying. And functional skills include collaboration, facilitation, and project management. And then implementation skills include component development, standardization, and technical training. Administrative skills include tendering and procurement, contract management, and human resource management. Then there is support. It includes data and network support, equipment and software troubleshooting. Managerial knowledge include leadership, strategic planning, and organizational management. And finally, research and development. It includes knowledge engineering and industry engagement. Now let's look into some of the BIM adopted companies across the globe. I know that we looked into it on the previous days, but let's do that again. Consider it a trip down to memory lane. Okay. So we have Standard, Thornton, Tomasaki, Sysra, Jacobs, HK, Covey. Okay, these are some of the famous Aeco companies across the world. This Covey is actually a company based in Denmark, and Thornton and Jacobs are based in the US, and Statec is based in Canada. So there are also some other companies. There is Atkins, there is Aeco, then there is Sulpana, Jerome, and L&T, and I hope all of you have heard about L&T, right? Yeah, L&T is a very famous company, and its branches are also here out in India, and I hope all of you have heard about it. Then there is Mott McDonald's and Pinnacle Infotech, and I believe you have also heard about the Pinnacle Infotech. Then there are some of the companies are EEC Resources, Engineering Work, Arcadis, Orbis, Croatia, and Sanco. Now these are some of the companies based in India. The Studio Parametric is actually a company based in Bangalore. Design Build is another BIM company. It is based in Hyderabad. DDG BIM Services, BIMX, and Adventure are based in Kerala, and Swinsoft is actually a company based in Chennai. Okay, this is a very small list. Actually, there are a lot more companies. At the end of the session, we will be providing you with a list of around 370 BIM companies across the globe, and there are many more companies. And to know more about it, you can refer the internet or you can contact us. Next, we will be looking into the BIM education. For that, I would like to invite my colleague, Mr. Vishnu, and he will be taking the session about learning BIM education. Okay, over to you, Vishnu.
Thank you, Jovin sir. So, myself, Vishnu, and I am Technical Engineering BIMLABS Engineer Services Private Limited. Till now, we have discussed what are the various BIM job profiles and what are the various BIM companies that are operating in India and abroad. Next, we can see how we can get ourselves educated on building information modeling. If we want to become a successful BIM professional, we need to have good knowledge about various aspects and tools used in BIM. So, the available courses in building information modeling can be classified into mainly 3 different levels. They are introductory courses, intermediate courses, and advanced courses. In the introductory courses, you will be just learning the basics of building information modeling. So the curriculum may include what are the various research directions in BIM, or what are the various industry applications, what are the career opportunities in BIM, and how to implement BIM, and what are the benefits of implementing building information modeling in your firm. So next we have intermediate courses. This type of courses are highly specific. That is BIM for architects, BIM for structural engineering, BIM for MEP engineering, BIM for civil engineering, etc. So if you are an architect, you will be just learning BIM architecture. Similarly, if you are a structural engineer, you will be learning just BIM structure. So then we have advanced courses, just like the Master in BIM course offered by BIMLABS Engineering Services Private Limited. Here you will be learning A to Z of building information modeling in all dimensions. So let's see what are the various existing BIM education providers that are available. As we know, we all are living in a digital era, and every information is available at our fingertips. You can learn anything online today. There are various online and offline platforms that you can make use of to learn building information modeling. So the most popular platform in the online segments are Coursera, Udemy, Lynda.com, edX, LinkedIn Learning, etc. So I hope that most of you guys will be familiar with Coursera and Udemy, because they are the more popular digital platforms that are available. And you can go through these platforms and search for courses that are related to building information modeling. Also, you can learn about BIM and various BIM tools by enrolling for the Master in BIM course provided by BIMLABS, which is a 7-month course with 3 months live project experience. So the course is well structured to mold yourself into a pro in building information modeling. And I can assure you that it will be the best decision you make about your BIM career. BIMLABS also have a dedicated placement cell called as Bridge, which has a history of placing more than 100+ students in the past years. You can log into our website bimlabs.in to know more about BIMLABS and the Master in BIM course. The 3-month internship will be carried out in a BIM studio. BIM Studio is the project wing of BIMLABS, and in BIM Studio you will be dealing with live projects that will give good exposure in BIM and help you to create good project portfolio. As I have said, the course spans over 7 months with a 3-month internship, and there are a total number of 45 modules and 100 assessments in the course, and we assure 100% placement for all top performers. Now, let's go in detail about the course curriculum. So there are mainly 5 sections in the course curriculum. They are architectural design and documentation, structural design and documentation, MEP design and documentation, construction planning and management, conceptual and generative design, and finally infrastructure and plan design. So let's go deep into each and every section. So the first section is architecture design and documentation. Here you will be learning how to prepare 2D CAD drawings how to create an architectural model in Revit, and how to do landscaping, etc. Landscaping is nothing but the process of modifying the visible features of an area of land. In the next section, you will be learning architectural documentation and estimation, where you will be learning to prepare drawings, sectional views, elevation, and also to calculate the cost and quantity of material required for a particular project. In the visualization section, you will be learning how to create visualizations using Revit and Enscape. Enscape is an add-in that is used in Revit for visualization purpose. Also, you will be learning to perform visualizations using tools like 3ds Max and VRM. So these are the samples models that have been created using Revit. So the next section is structural design and documentation. Here you will be learning how to create structural models in Revit. You will be also learning to perform structural analysis using software tools like StartPro and ETAS. Structural analysis is nothing but the determination of effects of loads on physical structures and components. And these are the sample models that are created using various BIM tools. And next we have MEP design and documentation section. Here you will be learning how to create MEP models. MEP is generally known as building services, which consist of mechanical, electrical, and plumbing disciplines. Here you will be learning how to create HVAC, plumbing, fire, and electrical models of a building, and also learn MEP documentation and estimation and creation of MEP fabrication parts. So these are the sample MEP models that have been created using various BIM softwares. And the next section is construction planning and management. Here you will be learning how to coordinate between various disciplines like architecture, structure, MEP, and perform clash detection using softwares like Navisworks Manage. Also, you will be learning 4D simulation. 4D adds extra dimension of information to a project model in the form of scheduled data. This information can be used to obtain accurate program information and visualization showing how your project will develop sequentially. Here, you will be also learning work sharing. Work sharing is nothing but is a design method that allows multiple team members to work on the same project model at the same time. On many projects, team members are assigned a specific functional area to work on. You can enable work sharing to create a central model so that the team members can simultaneously make design changes to local copy of the central model. Also, you will be learning construction and design document management, quality control, safety and project management, coordination, constructability, design collaboration, lean construction, product planning, field layout, field management, etc. Oh, this is the sample photographic image of clash detection in Navisworks. So in the next section is conceptual and generative design. Here you will be learning how to create conceptual models. Conceptual model is nothing but is the model that is created by the modeler based on the client requirements. So there are a lot of conceptual modeling tools like Autodesk Formit 360. You will be also learning energy analysis, energy efficient buildings and their design and analysis, advanced family modeling, and you will be also learning visual programming and generative design using tools like Dynamo. So the last and final section is infrastructure and plan design. So here you will be learning scan to BIM. Scan to BIM, it is a technology which uses the point cloud data of a building for the creation of the BIM model of the building. You also will be learning structural planning and design using tools like InfraWorks. That is the modeling of various infrastructural aspects like roads, bridges, dams, etc. And also you will be learning plant design. That is the designing of plants, maybe chemical plants, thermal plants, refineries, whatever it is. So these are the sample infrastructure models that are created using various BIM tools. So that is the overall view of our course curriculum. Next, let's see what are the various key softwares that are involved in the Master in BIM course. So there are softwares mainly from Autodesk, Bentley System, CSI, Oracle, Trimble, and Bexel. So first, let's go through various Autodesk softwares that we are learning in Master in BIM. First, we have Autocad, and most of you guys will be familiar with Autocad. Autocad is a commercial CAD design and drafting software application mainly used for 2D CAD design and documentation. Then we have Autodesk Revit, which is a BIM software for architects, engineers, whether it is a mechanical, electrical, plumbing, whatever it is, and it is used for designing a building and its components in 3D. We can also use Revit to annotate a particular model with 2D drafting elements and access building information from the building models database. Next, we have Autodesk 3ds Max. Autodesk 3ds Max is a 3D computer graphics program for making 3D animations and models. It is frequently used for architectural visualization. Then we have Navisworks Manage. Navisworks Manage allows users to open and combine 3D models and also to navigate around them in real time. Also, Navisworks enables the users to perform flash detection, 4D simulation, and photorealistic rendering. Then we have Format 360. Format 360 is a conceptual design software. You can sketch, collaborate, analyze, and iterate early stage design concepts using Format 360. Then we have Dynamo. Dynamo is a visual programming tool that works with Revit. Rather than typing codes, with Dynamo, you can create programs by manipulating graphic elements called as nodes. It's an approach to programming better suited for architects, designers, and engineers. Then we have Civil 3D. Autodesk Civil 3D is a civil infrastructure design and documentation software. Then we have InfraWorks. It's a conceptual design software for architecture, engineering, and construction professionals to model, analyze, and visualize infrastructure design concepts. Then we have cloud-based BIM 360. And it is used to connect project teams and data in real time, starting from design to construction. Then we have StatPro from Bentley Systems, and StatPro is a structural analysis and design software application and it is one of the most widely used structural analysis and design software. Then we have ETABS from CSI, which is also an engineering analysis and design software. Then we have Primavera from Oracle, and it's a project portfolio management software which includes project management, scheduling, risk analysis, and resource management. Then we have SketchUp from Trimble, and it's a 3D modeling software for a wide range of drawing applications such as architecture, interior design, landscape architecture, civil and mechanical engineering. And finally, we have Bexel Manager. Bexel Manager is a software solution for management of construction project that integrates 3D, 4D, 5D, and 6D in single software interface. So these are the various software tools that we are teaching in Master in BIM. So BIMLABS is a certified partner with Autodesk, Bentley Institute, Bexel Manager, BricsCAD, and all of these are global leaders in software. Now let's talk about BIM Studio. As I have said earlier, after the 7-month training curriculum, every student enrolling for the Master in BIM course in BIMLabs will get a chance to do a 3-month internship in BIM Studio. BIM Studio is the project division of BIMLab. So students will get the chance to be the part of challenging live projects that will give them good exposure and project experience. The top performing interns will also get paid internship, and after the successful completion of the internship, students will get internship certificate from BIM Studio. If you want to know more about BIM Studio, you can go log into http:/bimstudio.net. So these are the various BIM services that are provided by BIM Studio. And there is architectural BIM services, structural BIM services, MEP BIM services, point cloud to BIM services, BIM family creation, CAD BIM services, and renderings. So that's all about my session, and I am handing over my session back to Mr. Joby. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishnu. So now let's look about how to build a career in BIM. Okay. So as you can see in this slide, there are mainly 6 steps in building a career in BIM. So step 1. What is step 1? Identifying the company. So in this step, you will have to identify the company in which you want to work in. In the previous days and even today, we have looked into various BIM companies across the globe. Since BIM is a relatively new and efficient technology, a lot of companies have started to adopt it. If you don't know which companies have BIM-related job openings, how can you apply? So the first step is always identifying the company. So step 2, understanding the job description. And now this is a very important step, okay, which people usually ignore. When you apply for a job, you should always read the job description. Job description is actually the requirement of the company. If you don't fulfill the criteria mentioned in the job description, don't waste your time applying for it. So always read the job description. Step 3, attain the skill sets required. Say you have identified a company and read the job description, but you don't have all the required skill set to apply for that job. For example, the company needs someone proficient in Revit, Navisworks, and Primavera. Okay, but you are only proficient in Revit and Navisworks. Okay, just for example, imagine that. Then what will you do? Will you just leave? No. You go and learn Primavera. That's how you progress in your career. You should always be ready to learn new things. In fact, it is the motto of the present industry. Learn, relearn, and unlearn. Which means you should be ready to learn new things. You should be open to relearn what you have already learned. And most importantly, when what you have learned has become outdated, you must be prepared to unlearn it. So that's the third step. Attain the skill set required. Now, step 4 and 5 goes hand by hand. It is about LinkedIn. All of you might be active in WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Facebook, and such social media platforms. And how many of you have an account in LinkedIn? Like I said, most of you. See, some of you have an account in LinkedIn. That's good. Okay, now one more thing I want to ask. How many of you are really active in LinkedIn? Well, that's a big question. It doesn't really matter if you have an account. If you are not really active in this, platform, it's not of any use. Okay. So as you might be aware, LinkedIn is a social networking site for professionals. Being active in LinkedIn is very important these days to have a growth in your professional life. In LinkedIn, you can identify and follow BIM companies and connect with professionals working there. In LinkedIn, companies will post their job openings and you can ask the professionals working there for reference if required, even if you don't know them in person. So always maintain an active LinkedIn profile. See, now you have identified the company, read the job description, attain the required skill set, and maintain an active profile in LinkedIn. Now, what is the last thing to do? Of course, submit your resume and apply for the job. The end. Whether you get the job or not, that depends on your performance in the interview. Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, this is how a LinkedIn page looks like. This is how a LinkedIn page looks like. Most of the companies publish their job openings in LinkedIn as well. So we have searched for BIM jobs in India. As you can see, there are almost 89 results. So we have chosen a BIM designer in Atkins. So here you can apply for the job if you are interested in job. Before that, you should read the description. What you are seeing here, it is the description. So you read the descriptions. After that, you can apply for the job. And as you can see, some of your connections might be working there. In that case, if the companies are accepting referrals, you can ask them to give you a referral. Okay, that makes it easier for you to get a job in that company. And you can also apply here. So always maintain an active LinkedIn profile. So those who don't have a profile in LinkedIn, you please start one immediately. So now we look into the bridge. Bridge is the placement division of BIMLabs, as you might have heard about earlier. And Bridge offers 100% placement assurance for top performing students of BIMLabs. And over the past years, Bridge has placed across almost 100 plus students. And we also publish weekly placement news in with the job openings in the Aeco industry. This placement news is released every week in Friday or Saturdays. You can access the placement news through this portal bimlabs.in/recruitment-placement. In this link, using this link, you can access the placement news. We also give hard skill and soft skill training for the candidates. So these are some of the students we have placed in the previous year. And this person over here is placed in Robot Construction. And Robot Construction is actually a company based in UAE. Then, and some of these students are placed in Up Design. Up Design is, as I have told earlier, it's a company based in Hyderabad. And as you can see, all these students have been placed previously by BIMLabs. So now we can look into higher studies in BIM. So say you have graduated and you had some BIM training, and after that, if you wish to go abroad for higher studies, like in master degree in construction management in foreign universities, we'll give you a list of some universities here. We have the University of Adelaide, it's in Australia. Then we have the Columbia University. Columbia University is actually an Ivy League school in New York, very famous. Then there's Queen's University in Belfast, UK, which is in Northern Ireland, UK. Then Fanshawe College is in London, it's again in UK. Then Northumbria University is in UK. The National Taiwan University in Taiwan. And then at last we have the University of Barcelona. Okay, I hope you have heard about Barcelona. Can everybody tell me which country Barcelona is? Anybody? Okay, Barcelona is in Spain. Yeah, Barcelona is in Spain. And you might have heard about the team FC Barcelona and Messi and all. Okay, all right. So now this is a big question, the $1 million question. Where you want to place yourself in 5 years? Those of you who graduated this year might not have given serious thoughts about it, but others definitely would have. If not, think about it. Where you want to be after 5 years? Whether you do something or not, after 5 years, you'll always be 5 years old. So you need to seriously think about it. Where you want to be or where you want to place yourself after 5 years. So there is no better investment than investing in yourself. Be a clever investor. Thank you. And that concludes the session. If you have any questions or doubt, you can put it in the chat box. Hello, everybody. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, that's all. Thank you for being with us for the past 5 days. You have been such a good crowd. The presentation of the past 5 days, the recorded session, and as promised, the list of BIM companies will be shared with you soon. We look forward to work with you again, and goodbye to Bim Education. Thank you. Everybody, please fill out the feedback form.
Thank you, Chobin and Vishnu, for your excellent presentation. I hope all have filled the feedback form. If not, please do it ASAP. You can check the chat box for the link.